a couple of weeks ago, when the Anthony Weiner scandal blew up, as the story was fading a bit, I was struck by one of the women who hired Gloria Allred. And Gloria Allred, what is she doing in this story in any way? And in the process, I stumbled upon another woman, a woman named Traci Nobles. She's from Georgia, because she went on the Today Show with Ann Curry. And I looked at this interview that she did with Ann Curry, and I'll be honest, I thought, okay, here's another opportunity to make fun of someone else involved in the story. And that's what I thought. And then I watched the interview. And we all watched it. We aired some segments of it live here, and the consensus among Jesus and JR, too, was that you can't help it. You like Traci Nobles because she did something that almost nobody in these situations when they're thrust into the spotlight does, which is Traci Nobles was honest. She was candid, and she didn't sort of cave to the pressures of television the way we're supposed to. She didn't answer the questions in the way we expect people to in these sort of fake nonsense apologies, because I'll be honest, this is an issue between Anthony Weiner and his wife. It's not an issue between any of these other women and Anthony Weiner's wife. And Ann Curry, unctuous Ann Curry, as I like to call her now, the Today Show, tried to make that happen. And Traci Nobles stood up there proudly. And then it turned out she's a fan of the Young Turks. So first, let's play the second clip so you get an idea who I'm talking about from the Today Show interview with Traci Nobles, and then we'll hear from Traci, who's going to join us here on the show.
What would you say to his wife this morning?
I don't even like to think about that, really, because at the time I didn't think about his wife. I mean, I'm just being honest, it was something we both engaged in. I was flattered that he friended me. I followed his politics. And if everybody's dirty laundry was aired out, everybody would have a lot of embarrassment.
Are you embarrassed?
Well, like I said, it is what it is. Like, I know that's very general, but there's nothing I can do about it at this point.
Do you regret it?
I don't regret it.
Saying she doesn't regret it, and for not caving and apologizing, and for saying, I love my favorite part is, to be honest, I didn't think about it. Yeah, of course you didn't think about it. Anyway, Traci is joining us from somewhere in Georgia now. Traci, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing just fine. How are you?
We're good. Traci came to our attention after we ran that segment. She ran she sent us a very nice, I guess, a Facebook message. Was that what we got, I think? And you said that, is that right?
Yeah. Well, I think I found I'm a pretty good internet user, as you may can tell, but I found the contact email, and so I was just hoping someone could get the message to you. I tried to friend Sync, but he never responded to me. So I was actually trying to just get the word to you that I appreciated it, because I read a lot of harsh shit out there about myself. So, and when I stumbled upon your comments and JR's comments, I must say I was flattered. No, it did make me feel good that somebody appreciated the honesty. I couldn't have gone up there and done anything differently, I don't think.
Yeah,
I could have, but I probably would have regretted that. And that's what I really wanted to say to Ann Curry at that point. So, yeah.
Ann Curry, man, she was just right off the bat, she just, oh my God, the breathlessness of the questions and the sort of,
Totally.
She was.
And she invaded my personal space at one point at the very end, which is when I sort of giggled, and I think I said the phrase that you made fun of me for saying the 3 times I said it. Did I really say it 3 times?
You said it. You said it is what it is 3 times.
I did.
Yeah.
That is an excellent way to get out of something you don't want to say. But what I really wanted to say. So that's all I could think of at the time, because that's usually how I do things in my life, which sometimes is good, but from what I hear from my family, sometimes not so good. But anyway, it is what it is.
Well, it is honest, and
yeah.
And I thought when she asked you whether you were embarrassed, I wanted to be like, yeah, of course she's embarrassed. She's on television now talking about personal sexual exchanges with a congressman.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she would rather not be here.
Right, exactly. And especially the only emails supposedly that were legitimate. They were from Radar Online, and, it says that they had been verified. And that's actually one of the reasons I contacted an attorney, because I was like, oh, my God, it hit me what kind of shitstorm was probably about to happen, or what could happen, regardless if it was true or not. Because, like I said, to Ann Curry, I think, or it could have been on the MSNBC show because I did that like later during the day, which I was very excited about. I must say, but those emails were not between the congressman and myself. He never said I'm a very busy man because I don't really think that was his style, at least with me anyway. Nor was it mine to say I would do things his wife would never do. Because like I said, I really didn't want to think about anything else at the time when it was going on, especially like his, personal life or, or mine for that matter.
So some of the stuff that came out was not true, is what you're saying, and you did say that to Ann Curry, that some of the specifics that Radar Online had published that were, you were like, look, man, this was bad. I'm not, this is not my proudest moment, but this stuff actually is not true.
Right. Yes, and there was some stuff, I'm sure that probably wouldn't look that good, but it never came out. So, but yeah, that definitely was not any. That was, which is crazy to me how that's even legal, but that's all another story.
Well, the media is allowed to be wrong, and they're wrong often. And one of the great things that they were wrong about, Traci, was this is my favorite part when I learned from the email that you sent us, and then the communication that we've had since that, is that one of the things you pointed out, and I pointed it out in the piece, because I'd read it, was that you were like a Christian Pilates instructor, that you taught Pilates to Christians.
To Christians, you did.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
But
my God.
That's because I'd read it, but it turns out, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that the Christian Center, which is what it was described as, the Christian Center you worked at was the YMCA.
Yeah, or the YWCA.
Oh, excuse me.
It's a smaller, right, yes. It's not that much different, except for the YM is usually bigger, or in Athens anyway. So, yeah, I'm sure there were Christians in the class, but there were some hippie progressives in the Pilates classes as well. So hopefully they're secretly cheering for me. I don't know. Maybe they'll come out of the closet now, since I may have paved the way for them in Georgia. That's one of the funnier things I read was someone made the comment they were most shocked to find a progressive in Georgia. So anyway, maybe that trend will catch on, and people won't be afraid to come out as progressive in the South, which is sort of difficult.
Yeah, no, I know. I lived in the South for 5 years. Let me ask you quickly: how did your I'm just curious. How did your name even get out at all?
And this is sort of funny too. I followed Anthony Weiner's politics, as did a lot of people, and there were probably a lot of followers who wanted to, I didn't really ever think about actually seeing Weiner's wiener, I guess you would say, but I always, especially after the healthcare debate, because I thought he kicked ass on the House floor. So I started following his Facebook page and just became a fan, and I would post comments, if he would post, whatever his post would be, something that he would bring to all of his fans' attention, or for example, the YouTube clip he posted during the healthcare debate, and I would always comment on, his balls, and that meaning, of course, not literally.
I got it.
Like
we know what you meant.
You know what balls. I like to say the word, and so he had balls, and it was impressive. It was very, inspiring.
Oh, you had no idea what you were getting into. But real quick, Traci, how did your name, though? I got how you started it. How did your name get out as one of the people involved?
There was a reporter from the Las Vegas Sun, and she sent an email. It was like, I can't remember exactly when it was after all of this stuff broke, but she emailed me and said that she had been reading on his Facebook page, his public page, that she had read a lot of my comments. Probably the balls sort of gave them away or got her attention, apparently. But she emailed me, and she also saw that we were friends. I wasn't just a fan; like we were actually Facebook friends or whatever. So that is it was really just an enterprising reporter then who looked through his.
All right, well, you know what? I got a pat her on the back for that. That's at least some. I mean, the story doesn't matter, but that was good work.
She definitely did. She read through it. She must have liked my comments.
Yeah, she's all right. Well, real quick, Traci. Last thing, how's it gone for you since this happened? You were living in Augusta, Georgia. That's right. It's a pretty conservative place.
Yeah, Augusta and Athens, sort of in between the two of those, but. It was crazy. My family is from a small town in middle Georgia area, so the New York Post, I mean, had reporters like cruising the countryside down here, which I thought would be hilarious to see. Actually, I mean, just to see footage that in and of itself, that they never could find me, which I thought was good. I hid quite well, but everything's just sort of, I mean, you know, I don't want to sound like a victim because, you know, I've put myself in a situation. So, but you know, everything will get better. I'm alive. I have family and I have friends.
You did lose your job at the Y because of all this, though, right?
Yeah. Well, to make a long story short, when you teach aerobics or Pilates or to whoever you teach it to, you have subs, and when all of this stuff started coming out, like I had been in touch with them to say, this is what's going on, and you know, y'all may hear stuff about, just to sort of give them a heads up. And so I had people cover my classes, and once I started reading all of the really nasty things that people in Athens were saying about me, especially if they knew me or people who didn't even know me, and they were given a lot of bad, you know, the Y was getting a pretty bad rap for employing a supposed Christian that was doing this, and that was coming from people who didn't even know my religious affiliations, and the Y doesn't really employ you based on your, you know,
no,
religion.
Of course not. It's the Y. I was a member of the Y. It's not a Christian
right.
organization. It's a freaking gym.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm sure there's lots of stuff that goes on at the Y that people probably wouldn't want everybody to know about. But so I'd been a friend of the director. I had worked for her like before I actually started teaching school. I was a school teacher for 5 years, but prior to that, I was the fitness director at the same place. So once I realized I was relocating, I contacted her to see if she could give me work because I needed a job. And so anyway, I was just basically trying to, I sort of wanted to help her. I said, I realized that this has put you in a horrible situation. You know, if I can sort of wait and come back when things sort of settled down, got back in touch with her, and basically she said there should be no more communication, which sort of broke my heart because I just hated for it to really end that way. So hopefully I will find a job doing something else. Maybe teaching Pilates to non-Christians.
We're basically raising Pilates to people of all denominations. Last question.
Right.
We have about 30 seconds.
Okay.
I was a little bothered by Anthony Weiner's final press conference where he left because it seemed a little self-serving. Did you watch it?
Right.
Do you care what happens to him at this point? Is that something that interests you at all?
You know, I was actually getting ready to go to New York, so I listened to it on my XM, and all I could hear was, "How big is your penis?" Like whoever the reporter was that was yelling that. So I felt sorry for him. I was sad for him. I think he just maybe got sloppy. I don't know, but I regret, what I do regret is that he will not be a voice anymore. Like that sort of hit me, and hopefully, you know, I don't know, who am I to say what he should do? And that's totally not my business, but just as a politician, like I will miss him and all the things that he stood for, totally outside of anything that has gone on. So, but I wish him the best. Hopefully, like if he ever heard this, he would know I was trying to stick up for him. Right. I wasn't trying to sell him out like some of those other girls were.
Yeah, no, it was clear that you weren't, and your honesty was refreshing and rare in these types of situations. By the way, that was not a real reporter who yelled that stuff out. That was Benji Bronk from the Howard Stern show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that was classy. Very
well,
classy.
What he was trying to do was sort of mock the sort of pack mentality of the press, but it ended up being a little...
Right.
But anyway, his intent was funny.
Weiner should have just said how big it was to shut him up, you know? I mean, it was what it was at the time. He should have just gone out on that note.
All right. Well,
anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you, Traci. Thanks for being a fan of the show, too. We appreciate it.
Okay. Love you guys.
All right. Thanks, Traci. Take care.
Thanks.
All right. That was Traci Nobles, candid with us as she was with the Today Show. She's a Turk. What are you going to do?